Hello, it's me, Daryl.
Well,
Florida
well,
Catholic guy. Uh,
we arrived under standby at Station 5. I didn't know if you still wanted to
just out
head,
having my
since
cigar,
you have BLS 4 coming this way.
and I thought I would do a video. It's been quite some time.
And so if I could have you, BLS 12, if I could have you head towards 19, and BLS 4, BLS 12, I can have you head towards 6. BLS 8.
Alright, we'll get going here. Uh, Trying to make this a little comfortable for me anyway. I guess this will work.
Station 6, copy.
Not much going on.
BLS 8.
Last thing I went to was
You want us to post at Station 19? You want us to go somewhere else?
was the Taylor Swift concert. That was probably a couple of weeks ago now. It was good. It was a good show. She performed for 3.5 hours, not 3.5, 3 hours and about 15 minutes. Like I said, real good show. Nice night. Didn't rain. Because there was talk we were supposed to get thunderstorms, but thankfully that didn't happen. I went to the first night of 3 nights she did in Tampa. And it was good. Decent show. But big news is my favorite band of all time, Aerosmith, is going on a final tour. I gotta let my dog out. If you're coming out, come out. If not, and stay in. Stupid dog. Beats at the door wanting to come out, then when I let him out, he doesn't want to come out, so he can stay in now. So anyway, Aerosmith is coming to Tampa, and it's their farewell tour. And the only bad part about it is their drummer, Joey Kramer's not going to be with them. He says he's not able to tour due to his health and everything. Of course, all the guys in the band are in their 70s, so not really a big surprise that this is their last tour. But it is. And the other good thing is, I've been in their fan club off and on since 1993, and I haven't been in the fan club for the past 3 or 4 years. So I went this past weekend to rejoin. Well, actually, I just went to the website to see if they're doing tickets, and they were, so I clicked on the stuff to get the tickets, and it said your membership is expired, click here to renew. So I'm thinking, well, I probably lost all my seniority, but at least I'll be able to get tickets to them. And after I renewed and paid the fee and everything, I got all my seniority back from '93, so I should end up with pretty good tickets if I have the money. I'm probably going to spend the money anyway, because this is their last tour, last time I'm going to get to see them. So I think tickets down in front are going to be like 500. So, I don't know. Kind of steep, but nosebleeds go for about 75 to 150. But it is what it is. I paid I paid over 200 for Taylor Swift, so I figure Aerosmith's at least worth 3 to 5, you know. But yeah, I haven't seen them. Well, I haven't been around anywhere where I've been in probably a good. Well, let's see. It was. I've been here 4 years almost. I'll be I'll be in Florida 4 years in August, and it was at least 2 or 3 years that I was in Maine that I saw him. So probably a better part of 10 years since I last saw him. And since '93, that's when I first saw him. I've probably seen him probably over 30 times, mostly in Albany, New York. Seen him in Hartford, Connecticut. Uh, Seen him in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. That was before I lived in Old Orchard. Went to Old Orchard on vacation when I lived in Massachusetts and saw him there. And saw him a bunch of times in the Boston area. I think they were in Portland once, Portland, Maine. Saw him in New Hampshire. Pretty much all over the New England area that they played. But this will be my first and only time seeing him in Florida. Of course, they're from Boston, so they're playing there a lot. In fact, this year they're doing a New Year's Eve show in Boston, which used to be a fairly regular thing. I went back and I think it was 98, 99. They had that was like their last New Year's Eve show they did in Boston. But that was real good. But I mean, I can't say I've never been disappointed, because there was one show in particular that I was really disappointed in them, but a disappointing show is very rare. I mean, they don't change your set list a whole lot, which is one of the big criticisms I have, because they tend to play most of their, you know, 90s, 2000s stuff. And as far as I'm concerned, Aerosmith's best stuff is in the 70s. Particular, Get Your Wings, Toys in the Attic, Rocks. Their first 5 albums from, I mentioned 3 of them, then there's the debut album simply called Aerosmith. And of course then there was Get Your Wings, Toys in the Attic, Rocks, which I mentioned, and then Draw the Line. And then there was, I keep getting the next 2 mixed up. There was Right in the Nuts. Actually, the name of it's Night in the Ruts. But Steven, when he talks about it, he sometimes calls it Right in the Nuts. And then there was Rockin' a Hard Place. And I don't know which one it was, but one of those albums is the one that Joe Perry and Brad Whitford, the guitar players, aren't on because they left the band for a few years. That was when they were all messed up on drugs. And they had a fight, and Joe and Brad left, did their own side projects. And I think it was, I don't know, 83, 84 when they got back together, maybe 85. And then they came out with Done with Mirrors, which I think is an underrated album, particularly. It's not, it doesn't have a lot of production on it, which sets a lot of critics off. But I think the lack of production is what makes it good. It's raw rock and roll, which I like. Rocks is my favorite album. I always quote with Joe Perry, because he's the one that named the album. He's their guitar player. And they were thinking of what to name the album. He said, let's call it Rocks, because it does, because it is. And it's good. Yeah, I like that. Then, so anyway, after Done with Mirrors, they came out with Permanent Vacation. That's the album that had the hits Ragdoll, Angel, and Dude Looks Like a Lady. So then it was around that time that they redid Walk This Way with Run DMC. And after that was Pump. That's the album that got me into them. That's when I pretty much first discovered Aerosmith is Pump. Particularly the song Love in an Elevator. I had an old boombox. Of course, this was back in 1989, 1990. I was in high school. I walked around my neighborhood with a big boombox on my shoulder all the time, and when I heard Love in an Elevator, I just fell in love with it immediately. The guitar solo, and so I recorded it with a tape recorder, of all things. Back when we recorded music off the radio with a tape recorder. How long ago was that? A long time ago. But anyway, that's a good album. I like that album a lot. And then after that was Get a Grip. Yeah. It has a couple songs I like. Eat the Rich. Fever. Joe Perry has a song on that album that he sings on that's pretty good. But got a little too commercial for me with the whole crazy, crying, and amazing singles. And in fact, I grew to hate crying because they have played that song every single show that I've seen them since it came out. And the show that I was disappointed in them, and there was also other issues with the fan club at the time. They were a mess. And we were supposed to, I bought a package with this show that included a barbecue, which there was. Pretty lousy one, but they had one. You got to take your picture at Steven Tyler's mic stand which I got to do. That was good. I don't know where that picture went. I have it somewhere. I don't think I have it on my computer, but I might somewhere. I might have it on a flash drive somewhere. But I should look for one. Look for that one. Even if it's the hard copy of the photo, I can upload it with my scanner. But we were supposed to get a backstage tour where we could see all their amps and their guitars and everything, and tour the backstage area. And it just so happened, which they knew ahead of time, that they were filming some movie, which will play into the story later. So the movie crew didn't want fan club people to go backstage with all their equipment there. I guess they were afraid we would go crazy or damage it or something. I don't know. But so they told us that. So we asked, well, are we going to get any kind of refunds? And at this point, the fan club was bankrupt because they had some, let's just say, unsavory things they were doing. And they said, nope, there will be no refunds. If you want a refund, you got to take it up with your credit card company. So we're all like, had a piece of cigar in my mouth. So we were like, what? Take it up with our credit card? You're not going to give us a refund because you're bankrupt? And so I know I was upset. So I go to the show, and the song that they were filming for the movie was Crying, of course. So, and we knew ahead of time that they were going to play the song 3 times. Because, like any movie, they want multiple takes of it. But we figured, the band would be good enough, maybe throw a couple of gems in for us, extra songs. But no, nothing. And they didn't even hardly play anything from the 70s. And so I was so upset that night. I left at the encore, which I never do. And I think I even flipped Steven Tyler the bird when I left. And believe me, I wasn't the only one. People to this day on the internet forums of Aerosmith still talk about that. But like I said, that was wasn't the only bad experience from the fan club, but it was the only really bad show that I went to, where the show itself was lousy. So, I mean, some of them better than others, but they always put on a good show. And of course, now that it's their last go around, it's like, who cares what they play? Because it's the last time you're going to get to see them. So just go with the flow, enjoy what it is. They're going to be heavy on the hits, which they always do. Probably not going to change the set list around, especially with a fill-in drummer. The guy that's doing the drumming, I don't know if I mentioned, the drummer's not with him. He's not touring with him anymore. Yeah, I did. I mentioned because of his health. Uh, the guy that's filling in for Joey Kramer is his drum tech. I can't think what his name is, but he's been with him the past couple tours they've done. John Douglas, I think his name is, and he's decent, but he's not Joey. I mean, you can tell the difference. I mean, I can, and most hardcore fans can. It's not. It's just not Joey's drumming, and you can tell. But you know, it is what it is. I mean, obviously, if Joey can't play, he can't play. You know, he's in his 70s, and drumming is a tough job. You know, you're not just there strumming a guitar or singing in a mic. You know, you're physically pounding on the drums all night. So I can understand that. But my all-time favorite song from Aerosmith is "Nobody's Fault" off the Rocks album, and they very rarely play it. I think there was one tour where they played it maybe 4 or 5 times, and then it's like I did manage to get a really good video off YouTube, which I put on my iPod and iPhone and everything, from a Detroit show they did a few years ago. And that was good, because that was a good high quality recording, and that was hard to find because, like I said, they don't play it live, so it's hard to get recordings from it. But I've never seen it live, and I probably won't. I've come to accept that the video is the best I'm going to get, but I'll still enjoy it. So that's my Aerosmith story. Anyway, there's a lot more I could get into with the mess with the fan club. I will tell this story. I wasn't going to tell it, but because it's fairly long. But I don't even remember. I don't even remember what year it was. Probably in the early to mid 2000s. It was when they were having the fan club changed management or changed companies. The company that used to have it originally was called Fan Asylum, and they were great. I mean, when you got tickets, I got tickets like second row, dead center, right on the floor, right by the stage, and you never got a bad seat. The only time you'd get a bad seat was in Boston, because that's where all their family's at, so obviously their family and friends take precedent over fan club, but still wasn't bad seats, but it wasn't right down in front. So then a company called Fans Rule, I guess, bought them out or took over somehow. I don't know what happened with that, and our seats got worse and worse. We weren't getting tickets down front anymore. And they had all kinds of excuses why not, and just, and the fans are like, what the heck, we go from being treated like great to being treated like crap, and so then something happened, and Aerosmith, one of the band members got hurt. They had to cancel the tour, and a lot of people didn't get refunds because they were claiming bankruptcy, so we don't have no money to pay you. So, people, were going to court or threatening to sue and everything, and it just so happened I was also at the time, I was on the Christina Aguilera fan club. If you don't know, she's a pop star. I guess she's still out there doing her stuff, but she's not as popular as she was. But her fan club was run by the same company that ran Aerosmith's fan club. And so Christina Aguilera went on tour at the same time this whole debacle with Aerosmith was going on. So, the Aerosmith fan club keeps saying, oh, we're working on trying to get you your refunds, we're working on it, just to keep people happy so they wouldn't sue. And as soon as Christina tickets went on sale, you knew what they were doing. They were using the money from the Christina Aguilera sales to pay off the Aerosmith fans. So I was on both Aerosmith and Christina's fan club. So I posted on Christina's fan club, and I was so prophetic. I hate it because I says, y'all better be careful buying tickets from Christina's fan club, because if something happens and if Christina has to cancel her tour, what the fan club is doing is using the money you're paying now to pay Aerosmith fans. So if Christina cancels for whatever reason, they're not going to have any money to pay refunds to anybody. And there were some people that heeded my advice, others blew it off. And I ended up getting a call from some guy with a fan club. He called himself Fat Tom. Yeah, that's right, fat like I am, really fat. Fat Tom. And he was fat too. I think he was bigger than me. But he calls me up on the phone threatening me, saying, I saw your post on the Christina Aguilera fan club forum, and I talked to her legal representatives, and they want you to cease and desist immediately, or we're going to take you to court. And I says, go ahead. I says, I'm only writing the truth. Well, we'll ban you from the boards then. Fine, whatever, do what you gotta do. It says, I'm not intimidated by you. And he hung up the phone because he knew I wasn't going to be intimidated. And what happened? Christina got hurt. She had to cancel her tour. And the fan club didn't refund the money. But what happened was, when Christina found out about that, she used her own money and refunded her fans. And for that, I will always have respect for her. That she didn't have to. she could have let it go through the courts, through the fan club, and say, "Oh, I don't have anything to do with it." That's basically what Aerosmith did. You know, if they didn't find the money through Christina's fan clubs, they wouldn't have paid us back. So now a whole different company runs it. I don't even know who it is, but I guess it's better now, but it's still not like it was. I mean, once Ticketmaster did their thing, that was the end of the fan clubs anyway, because, basically, the fan club now is just another ticket broker who just sells tickets at face value instead of overcharges for it. So they get their allotment of tickets, and they do get good seats, and it's done by seniority. So presumably I'll get the best of what they have, or I should anyway, for having 30 plus years of seniority still. So, but I was thinking of going on a political rant, but spent all my time talking about Aerosmith, which that's all right. That's all right. There's worse things to talk about. So anyway, the weather's been really nice around here. Like the last couple days, yesterday and today, been in the low to mid 80s with very low humidity. That's the big thing. And like dew points are running in the 40s and 50s, which that's pretty much wintertime dew points. So it's been some bonus weather for sure. Barely a cloud in the sky. There's a couple of high, thin clouds up above, but been perfect weather. I get one more good day tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit warmer, upper 80s, close to 90, but still low humidity. Then heat and humidity come back this weekend and probably be with us until October or November from here on out, because this is it. This is our summertime coming. So like I said, this is just bonus weather. Usually we're in the muggies by now, but we will be this weekend, so and increasing chance of afternoon thunder showers. Like next week it's like 20 to 30%. We're not in our rainy season yet. That doesn't start until like right around the 1st of June, so it's a low chance of rain, but there's a little bit chance. So got 3-4 weeks before we start our rainy season.
Yes, ma'am. Brush truck. All 3 units.
I got my dog some edibles, supposed to calm him down in like thunderstorm and fireworks and stuff. Yeah, like the marijuana edibles. I mean, it's not marijuana, but it's hemp. And I gotta say, the couple times that I've used it, it's probably worked the best out of anything that I've used so far, including strong stuff from my dog's vet. But still not perfect. But we'll see. He's doing all right. Always looking for food, that one. But
BLS 4, so I can have you head to 11120
anyway,
East
I gotta get going. I don't want to make this too long. So I will say good night. God bless you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.